Today, the three teenagers accused of throwing rocks at cars in Jefferson County, ultimately killing a 20-year-old woman, are expected in court. Mitch Karolchik, Joe Koenig, and Zachary Quack, the high school seniors, were arrested 1 week ago today. So far, they are facing charges of first-degree murder in the death of Alexa Bartell. They are set to appear in court at 1 o'clock this afternoon, where the DA is expected to file additional charges.
New detail this morning about a driver who crashed into a fire truck over the weekend. Investigators now say that driver might have done it on purpose. The crash happened right outside of the Aurora Fire Station on Peoria on Saturday morning. Colorado State Patrol says a fire truck was pulling out onto Peoria when another driver sped through a red light and hit the rig. Two firefighters in the truck had minor injuries, and the driver in the other car has life-threatening injuries. CSP says the driver was under the influence.
The man charged with the murder of his missing wife, only to have the charges dropped, is now suing prosecutors, state and federal law enforcement. Lawyers for Barry Morphy filed a civil rights lawsuit, seeking $15 million. This month marks 3 years since Suzanne Morphy was last seen on Mother's Day. Investigators still have not found her body. Chaffee County District Attorney Linda Stanley charged Barry Morphy with his wife's death back in 2021, but dropped the charges a week before his trial was supposed to start. Morphy spent several months in jail while a judge denied bail. This new lawsuit claims investigators from Chaffee County, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, and the FBI ignored potential DNA evidence and based their case on misleading information. The DA is now under investigation herself as well. Morphy's lawyers are accusing her of unethical behavior.
It's been almost 3 months since a shooting outside Emily Griffith School in Denver sent 2 people to the hospital. Now investigators think the shooter, who was a teenager, was inside the school with a gun. That teenager died last month in a separate shooting. Court documents say police arrested 18-year-old Saint Wake the day of the shooting. They had surveillance video showing Wake inside Emily Griffith's lobby before the shooting outside. A 17-year-old and an adult were shot, though it's not clear if Wake shot both of them or just one. Police in Lakewood say Wake died in a shooting on April 6th at a home near 14th and Sheridan. 3 people shot each other in the home. 2 of them, including Wake, died. We're trying to find out whether DPS let Wake come back to school after the shooting at Emily Griffith. The shooting outside of Emily Griffith happened the same day as a 16-year-old was shot outside of East High, and about a month before, a student shot 2 administrators inside East.
Now, the district has a draft of a new safety plan, but it doesn't actually change very much. There are no adjustments to the discipline policies that allow students charged with violent crimes to come back to class. There also aren't changes to pat-downs, which is what those admins were doing when they were shot. The draft does say individual schools, rather than the district, should decide if they want armed police officers on campus. Right now, the district is taking feedback on this plan. Then it will be finalized in June.
Right now, several students in a middle school in Greenwood Village are facing discipline after they drew swastikas on themselves. The principal of Campus Middle School says the students drew the swastikas after a presentation Friday on the Holocaust. Campus says they are planning on addressing hate this week. The principal would not say exactly what kind of discipline these students might face.
Pueblo Police is recommending 2 people be charged with assault after a viral video shows them beating a homeless man during a citizen's arrest. But we got a hold of some body camera footage that leads to new questions about how police investigated the case. We're going to show some of that video, which we want to warn you might be pretty hard to watch. Doug Cullison and his son told police that the man they beat was bloody from falling on the ground.
You know how he got the blood up? Was that already on there?
So he was trying to resist it a little bit, and my son right here, he must have heard too that he came up and helped put him to the ground.
So that was from falling to the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not what happened. 911 calls and surveillance footage from a business nearby show how the victim, Alex Montoya, was followed and attacked. He was suspected of punching a teacher at a nearby school. Police were aware of the surveillance footage, but said they couldn't get the video to work and never followed up until the video went viral. Pueblo PD admits mishandling this case. Now there's an internal investigation while the DA considers whether to file assault charges for the beating.
After a 4-day-long manhunt, police in Texas say the man accused of shooting 5 of his neighbors, including an 8-year-old boy, is now in jail. They found him just a few miles away, hiding in a closet underneath a pile of laundry. In the last few minutes, we have learned several arrests have been made in connection with his capture, though sheriff's deputies did not give any more details. Police say Francisco Oropeza shot and killed his neighbors Friday night after they asked him to stop shooting his rifle in his yard. The family called police, but they couldn't get there in time to stop the shooting or catch Oropeza. More than 250 officers spent days going door to door searching the area outside Houston with drones and dogs. Then someone called in a tip to the FBI and they tracked him to a home. Oropeza is being held on a $5 million bond.
The restrictions that block migrants from crossing into the U.S. to seek asylum, known as Title 42, end next week. And now the Biden administration is sending 1,500 troops to the southern border. They are expecting a big surge of people at the southern border. Already, hundreds of people are lining up at the San Diego border, hoping to claim asylum. The Biden administration says the extra troops will just be there for support. They will not be armed and won't do any law enforcement work.
When migrants do get to the U.S., they typically face a lot of challenges. One of the biggest ones is housing. Here in Colorado, many people stay in shelters until they can find somewhere stable, which can take a long time. For one family we spoke with, it took 5 months. They say it's giving them a sense of independence, plus they can cook their own food for the first time. Our Angeline McCall was there when the family got the call that they would move from the shelter to a home of their own. You can find their whole story on our website or the 9 News app.
And one thing you want to know about the weather today is nice warm temperatures along the Front Range. Take a look at these 60s, 70s, even a few low 80s, and we'll see partly sunny skies to go along with that. Then tomorrow, disturbance moves on through, more clouds and a greater chance for showers and storms, and cooler weather, only 60s and low 70s.